Police are asking businesses in 4 Kentucky counties to be on the lookout for counterfeit bills after they make 2 arrests.
A police chief suspends himself after a prank goes wrong. Why the Scottsville police chief is punishing himself.
Keeneland wants their fans to be heroes, designated heroes. How racetrack officials are encouraging people to choose a designated driver.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. They are warning businesses to keep an eye out for some counterfeit money. This week, state police arrested 2 people in Bath County accused of printing their own money.
But while police say they've shut down the counterfeit operation, they tell us there's still a lot of fake money out there. Our Victor Puente takes a look at the money. He tells us what you should watch out for in our top story at 5:30.
Neighbors saw police swarm that Bath County home. They say police tried to break the door down when they arrested Daniel and Mariah Rowe. 41-year-old Daniel Rowe and 18-year-old Mariah Rowe are both charged with 127 counts of criminal possession of a forged instrument. That's 1 charge for each counterfeit bill police say they found in their home. Neighbors saw police arrive and forced their way inside.
There was a whole line of cars went by and noticed that the last one was a state police car.
State police say they worked with Moorhead Police and the Bath County Sheriff's Office to make the arrests. Troopers also charged both with possession of a forgery device. The people living near them say the 2 usually keep to themselves.
I was just thinking how they was probably living and buying everything with fake money.
Police had the same thought. Now they're asking people in Rowan, Bath, Montgomery, and Carter counties to be on the lookout for any odd-looking bills.
Go down here to the store and get change, and they didn't catch it, and then you get in trouble for having it when you go to Walmart. So,
police say the total printed value of those bills was $2,048. In Rowan County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Police say in addition to the bills, they found an EBT card belonging to someone else and charged Daniel Rowe with using it fraudulently.
A rainy start to the weekend. We are tracking some much needed rain moving across eastern and central Kentucky.
So you'll need to keep that umbrella, maybe a poncho handy if you're going out tonight. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here. Chris, a lot of Friday night football games.
Yeah, a lot of muddy Friday night football games as well, unless you're in one of those fields that has the turf down, and then it's just going to be flat out wet. Area of low pressure we've been pointing to for the past several days across the southeastern seaboard, throwing moisture all the way back into the bluegrass state, and it's coming at us from the east and the southeast, spiraling around that low to our south and southeast. Here's a live view into Lexington from the station. We're looking down Winchester Road. You see the interstate traffic over top of that. Rainy conditions, and it is 60 chilly degrees right now. We've picked up 0.14 of an inch of rain so far here at the station, and those winds are gusty, and you can see that gust from time to time around 20 miles an hour, shaking our live sky cam. Defender tracking the rounds of moderate and light rains across the region. Anywhere you see some dark green or some yellows and oranges, that's where it's coming down at a pretty good clip, raining across the entire downtown Lexington area. Eastbound on 64, rain. Southeastern bound on the Mountain Parkway, rain. Southeastern Kentucky, yeah, it's raining there too. It's raining each and every stop that we look at, guys. That's a far cry from the pattern we've been in over the past little bit, as that conveyor belt of moisture is going to continue to set up shop as we go through tonight. More scattered stuff for the weekend, and I'll break down what to expect for your Saturday when I come back in a few minutes.
The sons of a man convicted of killing his wife by running a pontoon boat over her are suing their father. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Boyle County. According to the Advocate Messenger, the sons of Dr. Stephen Hall are suing their father and the companies that insure the boat. Hall was convicted of manslaughter in 2010 for his wife's death at Lake Harrington. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Hall has since served his time and has moved back to Nova Scotia. In the lawsuit, Hall's sons claim he was negligent in the death of their mother. They're asking for damages for wrongful death, pain and suffering, and medical and funeral expenses. The sons also say they were denied insurance claims under a policy that Hall had on the boat. In Boone County, a man has been arrested and charged with violently assaulting his ex-girlfriend. First, though, a warning. Some of the details are graphic. Deputies say 26-year-old Marilyn Stanley was beaten, scalped, and had her ear chewed off. Her ex-boyfriend, Zachary Gross, has been arrested for the attack. Deputies say Gross started punching Stanley and then used a knife to scalp her. When he was done, deputies tell us he used his dog to rip Stanley's ear off. We're told the assault started because of a Facebook post.
We'll all raise our voices. We'll all say some things that we didn't mean to say in the heat of the moment. Domestic violence takes it a step further. I believe this takes domestic violence even a step further by sicking this pit bull on her and ripping her scalp off. There's no need for that.
After the attack, deputies say Stanley was dropped off near her mother's house. Gross is charged with assault and harboring a vicious animal. The dog has been taken to the county animal shelter, and a GoFundMe account has been set up to help Stanley with medical bills. In Boyd County, a cardiologist accused of performing unnecessary heart procedures has pled not guilty. Ashland Dr. Richard Paulus is charged with 1 count of healthcare fraud and 26 counts of making false statements related to healthcare matters. According to an indictment, Paulus schemed to defraud Medicare, Medicaid, and other insurers from 2008 to 2013. During that time, he performed more stent procedures than any other cardiologist in Kentucky.
A Western Kentucky police chief has suspended himself tonight for a prank that he pulled. Scottsville Police Chief Jeff Pearson suspended himself for 3 days without pay for conduct he calls unbecoming of a police officer. We're told that Pearson played a joke on a friend while wearing a Halloween mask. But a person with Pearson's friend thought someone was trying to break into the house and called police.
No one has beat themselves up as much as I have over this. It's, you know, something that, and that's what I always tell my officers. Sometimes when you ring the bell, you can't unring it.
Chief Pearson also says he feels the police chief should have a higher standard of conduct.
We are just a week away from the start of the fall meet at Keeneland, and this year officials are trying out a new program. Keeneland is teaming up with the Hero campaign, which encourages people to choose a designated driver. Our Michelle Chamberlain has details on the program. It's a story that's new at 5:30.
We want our fans to come out and have a great time. You can feel it in the air. It's officially fall. Leaves are changing, and so is Keeneland. There's a lot of energy on the grounds here at Keeneland. You may notice several changes at the track for this year's fall meet. Our staff has worked tirelessly this summer to prepare for the Breeders' Cup. 7 temporary buildings and extra seating have all been added to accommodate for the extra 10,000 people at the track for the upcoming Breeders' Cup. And we're so excited for everyone to come out here and see all of the changes.
With all the new additions you'll see at Keeneland, you'll also see a new tent, the Hero tent. Keeneland has partnered up with the Hero campaign and hopes to bring awareness to those coming to Keeneland to make the right choice and choose a designated driver.
The person who wants to be the designated driver for the day can sign up to be the designated driver. They'll get a wristband and get free soft drinks from our concession stands throughout the day.
Keeneland is asking people to sign up at the Hero tent on the hill or at the entrance gate to be designated drivers for their family and friends.
The Hero campaign is a national campaign. They've teamed up with NFL teams and major sports venues. So we wanted to partner with the Hero campaign and help give attention to their cause and what they're doing to the racing fans and a totally different audience.
The Hero campaign is a change that Keeneland hopes is a permanent one. In Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
The nonprofit campaign is in memory of John Elliott, who was killed by a drunk driver in 2000. Before his death, Elliott received the Outstanding Hero Officer Award from the United States Naval Academy.
More and more scam artists are targeting older Americans. It's estimated the fraudsters take billions of dollars from seniors every year. But Consumer Reports is offering ways for seniors to protect themselves. Dr. Al Cadenhead received a call last year from someone claiming to be with the IRS.
Delay in calling us back might end up into a legal mess for you.
She was informing me that they were filing a warrant for my arrest.
What Cadenhead didn't know, the caller was a scam artist. She demanded immediate payment for back taxes, so he sent her $16,000 through prepaid debit cards.
I am very afraid at that point.
Cadenhead is one of 8 seniors profiled in a new Consumer Reports article on the growing problem of senior fraud. The scams range from fake sweepstakes to being scammed by shady contractors and financial advisors.
Well, seniors have retirement savings under their control, and scammers know that, and so they go after them.
Consumer Reports' Toby Stanger says American seniors lose billions of dollars every year to fraudsters.
There are ways that seniors can protect themselves. The most important thing is not to answer a phone call if the caller ID is from a number you don't recognize.
It's also important to check contractors and other workers through the Better Business Bureau to make sure they are legitimate. And seniors should ask trusted family members for help.
Letting a relative view your accounts on a regular basis for irregularities.
Stanger says that can help stop more seniors from becoming victims like Cadenhead. Consumer Reports also suggest that seniors buy a telemarketer call blocker that can keep potential con artists from getting through. A shocking announcement in Washington, D.C. today as House Speaker John Boehner decided to resign.
And two of the three candidates for lieutenant governor debated earlier this week at Midway University. Bill Bryan is talking to the third candidate who wasn't invited to the debate in the bottom line.
Good evening. The Speaker of the U.S. House, who is from just up the road in Cincinnati and who has lots of connections in Kentucky, is walking away from his powerful position and from his congressional seat. John Boehner told fellow Republicans this morning and the public this afternoon that he will be resigning his House seat at the end of October. The move comes amid a fierce battle among conservatives over funding for Planned Parenthood. Conservatives have demanded that any legislation to keep the government operating past next Wednesday remove federal funding from that organization. This has been a week of high visibility for the candidates for lieutenant governor. Republican Janine Hampton and Democrat Sandy Overly debated Wednesday night at Midway University. They staked out opposing positions on several issues. Independent Heather Curtis was not invited because the gubernatorial ticket, headed by her husband Drew Curtis, did not meet the threshold in a nonpartisan poll set by the League of Women Voters. But she appears with me for a segment on this weekend's edition of Kentucky Newsmakers and says it may be unusual for a candidate for governor to choose a spouse as a running mate, but she says she and Drew Curtis have long shared the load.
So far it's working really, really well. We're a partnership in every sense of the word. I love him. We're friends. We're parents together. We just do this. I've been the COO of his companies, and especially with this run, we're in sync. We work together really, really well.
Also in Kentucky Newsmakers, State Auditor Adam Edlund talks about his run for a second term, and his Republican challenger, State Representative Mike Harmon, is also with us. Kentucky Newsmakers airs in its entirety Sunday morning at 6 on WKYT. It repeats Sunday at 10 a.m. on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it then. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley is coming to Kentucky early next week to raise money for Republican candidate for Governor Matt Bevin and for the state GOP. Democrat Jack Conway's camp is out with a memo this afternoon critical of Bevin's approach to dealing with the pension shortfall. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Thousands are expected to visit Laurel County this weekend for the annual World Chicken Festival.
Visitors will have the chance to eat some chicken, of course, cooked in what people tell us is the world's largest frying pan. The skillet is more than 10 feet in diameter and holds 300 gallons of peanut oil. Volunteers tell us that when the festival is over, they will have served 7,000 dinners or 3.5 tons of chicken.
Our skillet runs through Saturday night, but the festival goes through Sunday. But they have to have time to be able to take it down so we don't fry on Sunday.
The giant skillet is surrounded by sand that protects the workers from dripping oil. There's also a step for them to safely put the chicken breasts in and then take them out.